Welcome back to What Are Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the T-103. It's a Tier 8 Soviet premium tank destroyer with a turret. It's located on the westbourne of Airfield and it's under the command of ShadowWish7274. Game on! Well, this is another one of the designs that the Soviets came up with for a tank destroyer based on the T-100 tank. Yes, you may have seen quite a few other tanks actually which were based on the T-100. One of those is the box tank, yes, and this is kind of boxy as well, but unlike the box tank, this one actually has a turret, and it was designed, well, it was designed in blueprints only to be used as a tank destroyer to destroy a fortification, so it's kind of an assault tank. And oh, ShadowWish just knocked those trees over, which kind of gives away its position to any Arty player. And yes, there are Arty in the game. There's two on the enemy team, a Lorraine 15550 and an AMX-13 F3. So not normally advisable to knock trees down because they'll aim for the base of the trees, and he's sitting at the base of the tree. Now, ShadowWish actually likes our channel. He's actually seen replays by his teammate, or rather one of his friends, who recently appeared on the channel, Javin's the Man. As you remember, he had that really great game in the Fifi where he actually jumped on one of the tanks at the end. Fantastic shot there on the Kari. We were in free mode at the moment when we saw that shot. Oh, he smacks by a T-3485M who gets a high roll, and in fact he can still see his rear, and he fires another one in, so he's lost a few hit points in that. Now, the armament is a 13cm main gun, which is capable of doing 440 alpha, and it'll penetrate 258mm of armor, and that's just with standard AP. With the premium rounds, it'll do 307. It's also got 8G rounds as well, which are capable of 580 alpha and 65mm of pen. That was just a kind of warning shot, just in case that T-3485M was thinking of taking another shot. Now, the standard reload by the book is 10.74 seconds, but you can see ShadowWish has actually got it down. Oh, that was a goodie! Can we see that one again? Yes, please. Okay, fires one warning shot at the T-34. Don't trespass on my territory. And as soon as he's reloaded, pops out, sees the enemy, another T-3485M, the same one, and oh, he pops his top. That's an Amarak. Went right into the shells in the turret, and that guy's out the game. In fact, I wonder, was that the only T-3485M on the enemy team? Well, no, it wasn't actually, because there was another one, and he's actually a Super Unicum, so I'm not really surprised that he did get hit, because it probably was the Super Unicum who did that. But it's a nice warning for the other T-3485M. If you trespass on my territory, you are going to get detonated. Now, as I said, this vehicle never actually got put into production. It never got produced, which is a shame really, because it would have been quite interesting. Tried a quick snap on the Kari, didn't get it, but he did get spotted. Worth a shot, just in case. No, we didn't actually get to finish the figures. 580 alpha for the HE and 65mm of pen. So, yes, you could do a lot of damage with that. And he's still looking around, just in case that T-3485 is up there and puts one in, but it doesn't get a hit. Now, he's got a good position here in terms of stopping the enemy coming round the corner on the south of the Temple Mount. I call it Temple Mount, as you know, because, of course, there is an amphitheatre and a temple in the centre. I like to give names to places so that we can actually identify what we're actually looking at and what we're seeing. Still haven't got anything over there. The Kari is there, or was there the last time we saw him. Now, the bad thing about this particular position is you can get hit by Arty. And at the moment, luckily, the Arty is actually focusing elsewhere. There's the Kari. So he has been spotted. Our T-3485M got a sighting. And he's actually moved over to the bushes to try and spot the enemy. And yeah, ShadowWish is thinking about putting another round in there just in case. You never know. And an enemy Hellcat suddenly appeared on Temple Mount, and he's not looking in that direction. There he is. That's why it's so important to have a good sized mini-map to actually spot the enemy. And yes, that T-3485M is still there. He's just been spotted, but he hasn't been damaged, so none of those shots actually hit him. Now, we're loading an HE round, because the Hellcat has no armor. One shot would be enough to take him out. And here comes the Super Hellcat. Hello! That's what it's there for. Look at that. 214 hit points. And he's got his second kill. That literally overwhelmed the enemy. That's why you have the HE rounds. If you get an attack with no armor, you can just literally obliterate them with one shot. Now he's holding down that pass and the north side of Temple Mount at the moment, whilst the AC-4 Experimental is doing quick scouting on Temple Mount to just keep the enemy at bay. If the other Hellcat comes over, then he will have a go. Unfortunately, the enemy appears to be doing rather well. In fact, now we've lost another of our teammates. We've just lost the VK3002D because they are pushing through the heavy tank area, and there's a BZ-176 in that heavy tank pass. So we could have to turn and face those targets instead. He might have to turn himself around. In fact, now he's reloading the premium rounds. Oh, it went close to the tracks, but it didn't strike. And he has been spotted. Now we can see the Hellcat in the north part of the of Temple Mountain. And this is what I was saying about Arty position. It's not a good position for Arty, you see. It's good position for sniping at the enemy, but if there's Arty in play, you could get badly hurt. And knocking those trees down kind of says, here I am. So it's just a suggestion that ideally, if you're going to knock the trees down, position yourself somewhere else. Tries to get a shot on the Cromwell. He's still loading the premium rounds though. He hasn't switched back to the standard AP. The Cromwell's got no armor. Well, relatively little armor. And so he'd be better off. And he's loaded the AP. Good. He's thinking. Smart players will think about what the armor is, what the ammo is. Oh, yes. Well, he tracked him. Now, that long reload, and then he'll be able to get another shot. And he pops himself forward and puts one in, gets 483, which is the high roll. Remember, 440 alpha. And unfortunately, the enemy Arty gets another hit. An IS-3A went down this time. So we're down to 5 players on our team, and we're facing 7 enemies. But I'm sure ShadowWish has had many other games where he's been up against tough situations. Oh! How could that bounce off his upper plate? Well, I suppose he was very well angled, and the shell just ricocheted off, but this time round he makes certain and kills the target, and that's his 3rd kill. Now, can he get this Wizzy 131? He's going to have to bend down a bit because you only get 8 degrees of gun depression, but he gets the kill, and that's now 4. There's a Cromwell over there begging to be killed, and he takes him. That's his 5th. One more, and he gets a set of steak knives. No, he doesn't. He gets the top gun. He's got 1/3 of the enemy team, and ow! That shot was actually aimed for the AC-4, and instead it hit the, it was from the Kari, and instead it hit us. I don't think he was aiming at ShadowWish, but I suppose it might be possible. Anyway, he's down to just 101 hit points now, so he is a one-shot for some of the enemy tanks out there. There's only 3 left on either side, so they've evened up the score. His teammates now consist of a T-78 and a Hummel down in the south, and he's the only one holding the north end of the map. There's the troublemaker, the Lorraine 15550. tries to get the shot in, but unfortunately hits that silo, stroke fuel tank actually. I think it's a fuel tank. Okay, he's loaded. Can he get a shot? Yes, there you are. And he gets him on the move. Difficult shot because he could only just barely see it through those trees. And here's the enemy Arty again. Except, of course, this time it's the AMX13F3AM, which has a 155mm round, just the same as that Lorraine 15550. Okay, so there's only 2 left on the enemy team. The BZ176, who doesn't have much in the way of hit points, and, of course, the AMX13F3AM, who is fully healthy because, of course, he's been spending most of his time at the back. Now, he's actually, he says the BZ is a big problem. Well, technically, yes, because, of course, he's got the biggest gun in the game. He's got the 16 centimeter, I think it's 16 centimeter main gun. I'll have to look that one up myself. I don't play any of the Chinese heavies. Okay, he's decided he's going to go with the Hummel, whilst the T-78 is actually hunting the Arty at the back of the map at the moment. Well, he's actually in the north, we know that now, so the T-78 is looking in the wrong area. So he needs to go further north. Hummel's coming with ShadowWish, which is good. At least the Arty player knows. Oh my gum, here he is! Oh, we take a hit, but in the tracks. He goes to the lower plate. He gets a hit, but that guy's gone. Oh! Hummel saved us! Let's have a look at that one again. Okay, he goes in. He crosses the water. You can see his Hummel teammate behind him. Loss has herpes. Oh, dear. He gets hit in the tracks, which saves his life. He pumps one in. And the Hummel shotguns him at close range. Well done, Hummel. And that was with the top gun as well, the big long gun. Difficult to shotgun with that one. Much easier with the stock gun, but oh my god, that's changed the battle. And he said he wasn't paying attention. And his heart went, oh. And the Hummel said, same, lol. Brilliant. Because that has sealed the game. The Arty has saved the heavy tank, or the tank destroyer, from being killed. And T-78's found the enemy Arty, and he wasn't full health, actually. But he's now about to go down. Oh! The Arty killed the T-78. He shotgunned him. So he is a good player on the enemy team, the AMX13F3. And now it's up to ShadowWish to go after the Arty. Now, he's already got one. If he gets the other one, he gets a Pascucci's medal. Now, the other Hummel's coming with him. They're not going to go cap. There's no point. It's 3 minutes left on the game. They want the kill. They want to get the win. Now, the AMX-13F3 is based on the 13-ton little tank. So, yeah, light tank. It's a very fast Arty in terms of moving about. I think ShadowWish is going to have a lot of trouble, but if he can spot the enemy, then the Hummel might be able to get a shell into him from distance. The best thing would be for ShadowWish to get the kill, of course, because if he does get the kill, he's already got his top gun out of this game. If he can actually get the next kill, then obviously he will get 7 kills. It's one short of getting a Radley's. I think he's expecting that AMX-13 to head towards the cap area. I think that's not what the AMX-13 would do, but oh, he's got a good lookout from this position. The AMX should be hiding and ready in shotgun. Oh, what a shot! Right at the end. A lovely leading shot, and that is the end of the game. It's a victory for ShadowWish7274. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for ShadowWish7274 in the T-103. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 6. He got the demolition expert because he blew apart one of the enemy tanks. The T-3485M completely lost his turret because the shell detonated the shells in the turret of the T-34. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, a Pascucci's medal for killing both enemy Arty, the Lorraine 15550 and the AMX-13F3AM right at the end of the game, And he got a Top Gun as well for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended up with 7. One short of getting a Radley Walters medal in the game, but certainly very well played indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the BZ176 that he almost had a heart attack when he saw. That guy got a high caliber for 3,221 hit points of damage. He got wiped out because T-103 had a bodyguard. The Hummel, yes, was with him. And Loz has herpes. Well, yes, I'm not sure if you can get that treated, but anyway, ask your doctor. And the second place on damage was ShadowWish with 3,158, and the third highest on damage was in fact the Type 5 Arty in the center of the map. Yeah, he had 2,826 hit points of damage. So when it came to kills, yep, he got that one. ShadowWish got 7 kills. 4 kills went to the T78 on his team, who got shotgunned by that AMX13F3 player at the end, towards the end of the game. Irving 769XX. Yes, he actually did manage to get a nice little kill there, even after he took some damage. And the third place was the Arty, the Lorraine 15550. Both had 3 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, yep, ShadowWish got that one. So he's got the top in 2 columns, missed out on the top in the third column to the BZ176, and of course his very big gun. So he managed 1,350 base, 1,155 went to the Hummel, and 1,138 went to the T78, and they were the only 3 players who managed to get over 1,000 base, with the next highest player after that being the Cromwell on the enemy team, who managed 692. ShadowWish fired 19 rounds, got 13 direct hits on the enemy and 10 penetrations. You get 50 rounds of ammunition in his tank, so he didn't expend a huge amount either. 3,158 hit points of damage, of which 472 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the damage was done at close range. 6 hits received from the enemy, though. 3 of those penetrated. Well, the armor's not particularly tough, but he did manage to stay alive longer than some box tanks do. And 2 non-penetrating shots, which actually hit the tracks, and 3 hits by way of splash damage. Of course, the luckiest shot of all was that last hit that he received from the BZ176, because that one hit him in the tracks. And if that one had actually hit him head on, then I think he would have been out of the game. But the guy must have fluffed his aiming, and it didn't pen, hit the tracks instead, and the Hummel then dealt with him immediately afterwards. 3 hits by way of splash damage. Yes, I did say he picked one of the wrong positions to be in. And of course, he knocked those 2 trees down in such a way as to say, this is where I am, hit that spot. Arties look for things like that. They look for trees being knocked down as an indication of where the enemy might be, so they can get blind shots. And you can see that Lorraine 15550 did get some nice hits. The thing was that he had already been spotted by then, but it just gives you an indication of where an enemy tank might be if they're trying for a blind shot. So best not to knock any trees down, actually. It's better to leave them up and confuse people as to where they might be. After you've been hit, then you can knock them down. After you've been seen, rather, you can knock them down then and use them as camouflage cover. But before you've been hit, not a good idea. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, and 889 hit points of spotting assist in that game. Now, he did earn a profit for the game of 48,450 credits, despite the fact that he had consumables, and he also got 10,328 XP, because he got a personal missions payout for quite a large amount, and of course this is a premium vehicle. So, fantastic game there in the T-103. Good job that ShadowWish had an Arty running alongside him, or behind him actually, as his bodyguard to look after him, because otherwise he would have been out that game by that BZ176. But in the end, it all worked out okay, because he did get the AMX13S3AM from that sniping position and finished off the game before the top clock ran out. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.